This is a Glitterball podcast. Before we get into today's episode, please remember I'm judging these housemates based solely off of an edit and not as total people. Please don't send them any hate, it's just a game show. It's a nightmare before Christmas for one housemate as they are unfortunately snap evicted in the most iconic way. And we've seen another round of nominations and Bruce and Coco mac on in the pool. Welcome to He's Always Watching. From Glitterball, this is He's Always Watching, a Big Brother podcast. Hello Fishbowl friends and welcome to another episode of He's Always Watching. Clearly some of your favourite Big Brother podcast, because I've seen the stats today on Spotify Wrapped and I am pretty wrapped myself, so thank you. We have a lot to get into today. We have 2 rounds of nominations and a snap eviction to talk about, plus we have the cementing of the showmans that survived. I have to go on one slight tangent before we get into all the meat of this episode. Can we talk about how fake, phony, and just completely unnecessary Colin's crying and this acting is? Because that's exactly what it comes across. It doesn't come across as genuine. It comes across as acting. He's an incredibly ugly crier, which I can say because I too have an ugly crier. It's not pretty. You don't want to see it. It's not great. But I will own that. Give it a rest. I said that last episode and it remains true. You've known her for 3 weeks. Stop crying. It's not that serious. She's probably going to find an athlete when she's outside. And just the perpetuating of that we saw in Monday's episode, I was like, miss me. Because it doesn't come across as genuine. Holly on the stage also doesn't come across as genuine. She was very tightly controlled on that stage, which I'm not surprised because now she's outside and she's heard what the people think about her. Let's start with the first round of nominations and the snap eviction. If I had to summarize both rounds, though, I've got to be honest, a strategy has come out hard. Hard. We saw it in Holly's goodbye message, in her targeting of Vinny, and Ed's behaviour this week as well. I have a bit of a theory which we're going to unpack in just a minute, because I feel like this all ties together, so bear with me. But I was really shocked to see first Vinny, Alana and Coco up, and then of course Colin saved Alana, which makes sense. They have been very close in this house, so saving her is no great surprise to me. But then for Emily to replace her, I was like, oh, because I think Emily is an interesting one. She's been giving us a lot of good golden nuggets, but a lot of people are saying she's generally boring. Is that just because she's been drowned out by the other louder characters? Maybe she is boring, but I suspect from the nuggets we've seen, if there was more room in the edit, maybe we would have seen more of her. But now on to Vinny. And here comes my theory. I think that Edward is just on the warpath to get rid of a threat. We saw it in the second round of nominations from Ed. He is very, very clearly strategic, and he is clearly taking no prisoners with his behaviour, which is why he has landed himself this villain edit. I think he's going too far. For someone that has brought us absolutely nothing this season, Edward is certainly full of opinions. And there comes a point where you have to sit and look at yourself and go, oh. Like, he should be not dishing out the advice he is when he's a 30-year-old man still living at home. I'm sorry, you don't even do your own laundry, as we learnt this week. It's very hypocritical. We'll get on to a little bit more hypocrisy later. but his behavior is incredibly hypocritical to be like, Vinny's fake. When I'm sorry, sir, you're clearly the fake one, because I don't think we've really seen an ounce of your real personality. It's all been hiding because, in my personal opinion, and this is just my opinion to be clear, based off the edit we are seeing, and even some of the live stream stuff, he is so in his head about this game and desperate to win by the sounds of it. It's really interesting, and I really would love to know more, that Coco in her second round of nominations said that Edward didn't want to be there, and I actually want to know more about that, so I'm going to do some more research before our next episode on Saturday and see what I can find. But he is very clearly playing a very manipulative game, and I love that the editors called him out on it, because I actually genuinely feel for Vinny. I think Jane, Holly, and Ed all saw Vinny as a very big threat to their potential chances of winning, because he's a big, smiley, young guy. So they were like, uh-oh, we got to get you gone. And I think that's all well and good if you own the fact. But to call somebody fake, when, from what we've seen, and remember, we have the feed, we have the Daily Show, and as we've learnt with Coco this week, the live feed presents somewhat of a different picture to the one we're seeing in the Daily Show. When you have both of those things, though, that really doesn't have a leg to stand on unless you're only watching one or the other, if that makes sense. So, I don't think the housemates have played their cards right with this one, and I just think they're wrong. To me, from what I've seen of Vinny on the live stream and what we've seen of Vinny in the main shows, he's just been in there to have a good time and cut some hair on the side, you know? And also, the fact that the betrayal came from the person he's been cutting their hair the most, with Edward with his weird obsession with constantly having a haircut. It's just wrong. And for him to be going, I hope I can help you change, when, sir, you haven't changed, grown, or pretty much done anything in that house this entire time. If I'm really honest with you, that entire conversation made Ed just look like a bit of a It did. He came across as a It is just a fact. I'm sorry. I know that's blunt of me, but there's no other way for me to put it. It is so rich and hypocritical of Ed to be like, I hope I can help you change. Sir, shut up. He's a threat to you winning. We saw that with your second round of nominations. You are so deep in your head with derangement that you've accidentally turned yourself into a villain, you dumbass. Anyway, back to Vinny. As we learnt from the first round of nominations, he, Coco, and Emily were facing the snap eviction. And look, if there is a way to go out, this is the way to do it, because this will be the eviction I remember from this series. This was incredible. You handled it with grace, Vinny. This was an iconic way to go. I love this. Is it cruel? Yes, it is. But it's iconic television, because all of their jaws, I think including the entire nation, were on the floor, including mine. This is how you do a Christmas eviction. This is great television. Cruel, yes, but great television. And he handled it very, very well. I don't think I will ever look at Jingle Bells quite the same way again, and I certainly don't think Vinny will. But I think given the barrage of accusations that were thrown at him in the last few weeks, leaving with the most iconic eviction is kind of a little bit of poetic justice in the end, if you ask me. After the break, we will get into all the Bruce and Coco of it all, if we must. And I will give you my predictions for the rest of this week now that we have our nominees locked. I will see you in just a second. Welcome back, Fishbowl friends, to Showmance Central. Sorry, I mean, he's always watching. Okay, so let's get into Bruce and Coco. I'm so tired. I just don't care still. And it's funny, because they were the showmance that was kind of bubbling away under the surface, and now that Holly and Colin are totally out of the picture. It's like the producers poured gasoline on them and suddenly they're kissing in the pool. First of all, madam, and Bruce, actually, both of you, I was just going to put this to Coco, but both of you deserve this. Even though Coco was the one that said it, the fact that you're kissing each other on national television, given what she said, of which her kids aren't going to want to watch people kissing every episode, that is all you've done for the past 2 days. The hypocrisy is up to here. I was completely wrong in the fact that I thought you two were the more sensible pairing, because this has just taken a total left turn into Ughville, and I'm not here for it. You've only known each other 3 weeks. You do not need to be all over each other's faces like this. Maybe I'm just anti-romance in the Big Brother house. Maybe that is just my stance, and that's fine. But I am not digging this turn in Bruce and Coco. And I don't really think that Coco knows what she wants either. I feel like she's just kind of boing, 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 backwards and forwards, like a tennis match between what her emotions may be telling her and then what her head is telling her. And I have to be honest, I personally think that this showmance could be the undoing of Coco potentially winning this show. I thought before this week that Coco was a strong contender. Now, I'm not so sure. So we shall see. We obviously saw the kiss in the pool and it was a big deal. Whoopee, they kissed. That's all I've got for you. Whoopee, they kissed. I don't think it's interesting. I'm far more interested in unpacking the absolute salty behavior that came around when Emily opened the Christmas cracker with Coco that contained Vinny's goodbye message. Because Alana had a lot of emotions. Now, I really like Alana, and I think she is a strong candidate for the win. But she really got her knickers in a bunch over Vinny calling Coco a good mum as if she's the only mum in the house. But the thing is, something she needs to remember is Coco has been the one that has been pinned as the mum this entire time, even though there's 2 of them. Alana, you've been given the mum of the house edit, not the I'm a mum doing this for my kids edit. And that is the unfortunate truth of that nature. So Vinny's just unfortunately perpetuating that edit. And yeah, there was a lot of annoyance for safe, if you will, to borrow a Drag Race quote. But to give you my predictions for the week ahead, oh my goodness, I feel like we're going to see Ed slip further and further into this paranoid, strategic mess of a man that he is becoming. I feel like that is almost guaranteed. I don't know what's going on here, but he's letting his ass hang out a little bit, because I feel like he's been very easily influenced by his former house friend Jane, and I think it's the wrong trajectory. I think he needs to rethink it. Obviously, he can't mend that bridge with Vinny now because Vinny's not in there, but at least be open and honest. If it is what I think it is, that he sees certain people as a threat, then at least be open and honest. You've got to give Connor credit where Connor has been kind of open and honest constantly that this is a game and he does want to win. Will he actually? I don't know. But this snaky behavior of kind of being like, I'm your friend, and then you're fake. Don't do that. Just be honest. It's not hard. So I think we're going to see more of that. We're unfortunately going to see more of We're unfortunately going to see more of Bruce and Coco, heaven help me. And I feel like we might see Alana slide back into this grump funk that she's in. But I think she just needs to let it go and enjoy the very few days that are left inside Australia's most famous theme park dwelling. Because they don't have long left now. And if I have to give you a prediction on Sunday, I think we could be in for a double. There's 4 up, so 2 surviving makes sense to me. And right now, my brain can't do the math as to how many is left in the final, but we'll cross that bridge on Saturday. Thank you for being here. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please rate, review, and share it wherever you get podcasts, because it really does help. I will see you on Saturday for another episode where we unpack whatever else Big Brother throws at these housemates as he completely destroys the Christmas spirit for them. In the meantime, remember, Big Brother's not the only one. He's always watching. See you soon.